Hello everyone, I'm Sebastian Y, and this is Principles of Macro. In this video, we are going to summarize and wrap up our study of the long-run closed economy. Later on, we're going to look at both open economies and how things work in the short run, but for right now, here is our summary. At the center of everything is the real GDP. We define this using our Cobb-Douglas production function, y equals a k to the alpha, l to the beta. Once we know k and l, we can plug those in, and that's going to give us the total output of goods and services in the economy. Next, we looked at the concept of national saving. In a closed economy, net exports are zero, and so national saving, S, equals y minus c minus g. That is GDP minus consumption minus government expenditure. The y that we see there is the same one from our production function. Any funds that are saved are then going to be loaned for investment. And so savings must equal investment. We set our savings function equal to our investment function and solve for the equilibrium interest rate and quantity of loanable funds. Remember that investment is the purchase of capital goods, equipment that is used in production, which is k in the production function. And so investment increases k in the future. Next, we can look at the labor market, where we have a supply and demand for labor. The labor supply comes from the households, people wanting to go and find a job, and the labor demand comes from firms wanting to hire people. The equilibrium in the labor market is like the equilibrium in any other market where the supply must equal the demand. We do the algebra there, and that's going to give us an equilibrium wage and quantity of labor, and that labor is the exact same L that appears in the production function. And so now we know where our K and L in the production function come from. Everything that I've written so far are what we call the real variables, variables that are measured in physical units. Number of workers, units of capital, units of goods and services. From here, we can start talking about the nominal variables, and the first one of those is the money supply. To calculate the money supply, we take the amount of currency in the economy and divide it by the reserve ratio in the banks. This equation assumes that consumers do not hold any currency. If they do, it gets a little bit more complicated, but if they're depositing all of their money in banks, it's C over R. Once we know that, we can figure out our monetary equilibrium. Just like so many other equilibria we have found, we need supply equals demand, and this time it's the money supply equal to the money demand. The money supply comes directly from our money supply equation. We set that equal to money demand and solve for the price level, which we call P. Everything comes together now in the quantity equation. The quantity equation says that the money supply M times the velocity of money V must equal P times Y. P times Y is our nominal GDP. The nominal GDP represents the total expenditure in a country in a year. M is the total amount of money in the economy, and V, the velocity, is the number of times each dollar changes hands in a year. And so the number of dollars times the number of times each changes hands is going to be our total expenditure, or nominal GDP, on the right-hand side. This equation brings everything we've done so far all together because the money supply comes directly from our monetary equilibrium, which is also where our price level comes from when we do the algebra and solve for that. And then the last piece of this puzzle, the real GDP, comes to us directly from the production function. And now everything that we've covered so far about the long-run closed economy comes together into one big conspiracy board. What I want you to get out of this is that nothing we've done so far is an isolated concept. It's all part of one big economic system We were just looking at individual pieces of it before, but now we can see how it all fits together. From here, what we're going to do is open up the economy and look at what happens when we introduce international trade into this system, and then we're going to start thinking about the short run. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching.